Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars TIE Bomber. It is set number 75347, comes with 625 pieces, and is rated ages 9 and up. Now this set retails in the United States for $64.99 and in Canada for $84.99. Now this is a 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi set, which is kind of funny because it really isn't seen much in Return of the Jedi. In fact, it's not seen in action. And even the box art is from, The Empire Strikes Back. So, kind of funny how that works out. And even the box art of the set actually is a blue line, which typically denotes a Empire Strikes Back logo, at least in Black Series. And again, LEGO, since they've adopted these box arts to have these different lines represent different films, have seemingly taken from the Black Series lineup. So this dark blue would actually typically be associated with The Empire Strikes Back, which leads me to believe this set was actually supposed to release either a year ago or a little bit earlier, and they decided to repurpose it as a 40th anniversary set of Return of the Jedi for the winter wave, as there wasn't any real, sets denoted to Return of the Jedi. So it wouldn't surprise me if this set was actually supposed to come out perhaps last year or even the year before that, and they decided to push it. Because of that, it isn't actually really a Return of the Jedi set, as it's only seen in the background in the hangar bay of the Death Star for a second. Not even, it's a screenshot basically, and we never see it in action like we do see it in the Empire Strikes Back. Moving on from that, let's check out the box. So as you can see, box has some nice detail of the space asteroid, like I said, from Empire Strikes Back. Again, the blue line that would typically be from the Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi sets would normally be a green line. LEGO has not been consistent in this whatsoever, but, I assume this is meant to be somewhat accurate in that sense, where it's supposed to be from the Empire Strikes Back. So it's a bit disappointing not to see that green line, but again, LEGO has not been consistent enough that really we can truly care. But you do have this very nice logo of the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. I'd expect us to get at least a couple sets, if not most of the summer wave devoted to the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And then you can see the minifigures on the bottom there. And that shows some of the main play features and some nice scenery of it in the hangar, which is more accurate to when we see it in the Return of the Jedi scene. And you can see some of the other play features with the bombs. Quickly showing off the instruction manual. Again, newer style manuals that are the rendered image. Don't look very good. Moving past that, it's your usual LEGO manual. Nothing too crazy about it as a playset. And then here you can see some of the, all of the extra pieces you get in the set, including, a nice chrome lightsaber hilt, an extra blaster, actually. Notice this in the Republic or 501st Battle Pack, that you actually got an extra one of these. So very interesting to see if that continues, where we keep getting these as extras, because that would be kind of nice. I mean, you could, of course, give it to, one of the other characters, but in the set, it's shown that they only carry one blaster, so you're left with an extra. And some other nice tile pieces, slope pieces, and Technic rod pieces, as well as a brick separator. Starting off with this figure that everyone wants to see, a Imperial Gonk Droid, or just a Gonk Droid, but I mean, it has an Imperial logo, so it's obviously an exclusive character in the set, definitely highly valued. Probably could see this going up in value by a lot. Obviously completely joking, but hey, it's still a nice little build, and nice to see them actually use the Imperial crate box, which is a printed element to represent it being Imperial. Pretty smart idea, I think, on LEGO's end there. Something that they haven't done before, as far as I remember. Still pretty nice, but it's just a Gonk Droid. Obviously doesn't have any opposability. But with that piece, you could technically, as I dropped one of his legs, or both of his legs now, you could technically put, perhaps the extra blaster or some other parts inside and have him carry it. Theoretically, honestly, that's not what they do in universe, but it's just something you could do. Moving on, we have the excellently detailed Darth Vader minifigure. This is just an extraordinary minifigure, definitely one of, if not the very best Darth Vader figures we've gotten, just in terms of the amount of detail. I think really the only thing you could really ask for from Lego is maybe figuring out some sort of side leg printing to wrap around or something. Maybe just to represent his boots or something. I'm not sure. But that's really the only thing missing. He's got great arm printing, great leg and belt printing there. You can see his torso print is excellent as well in terms of the detail. Lifting up his cape, you can see the back there. Looks great. You can take off the mask. No double-sided face, but you can see the scars of the back of his head. And then, of course, his angry Darth Vader face. Just an excellent minifigure. Of course, has his signature red-bladed lightsaber. Now moving on to the next character and the exclusive character in the set, which is Vice Admiral Sloan or Sloan. I was always under the impression that it was Sloan, but I guess it might be Sloan. And this is actually an brand new, like, not Legends, but Expanded Universe, the new Disney Expanded Universe character. So basically been in comics and novels set after Return of the Jedi, and also some comics based, during the original trilogy that sort of bridged the films. And in this case, she is a Vice Admiral, so during The Empire Strikes Back, that is what she is. After Return of the Jedi, she becomes a Grand Admiral, just like Grand Admiral Thrawn. So some people would have wanted a white Grand Admiral outfit, but Lego was accurate in giving her the gray outfit. I'm guessing they just didn't want to even bother giving the white outfit. But still, just a standard Imperial outfit. You can see there. It has the Lego pistol, like I was saying. Does not have a double-sided face print, which is kind of interesting. Would have liked to see perhaps a more like anger battle face. And yeah, it's the Rey Sloan or Rey Sloan minifigure. And moving on to our last minifigure, we have a TIE Fighter pilot who is excellently detailed with the leg printing, which is nice to see. No arm printing, but some nice back printing. And then not a double-sided face either, but does have, I believe this is like a standard Lego flesh head. I believe it was used for like Lex Luthor back in the day and whatnot. So it's been used quite a while and kind of is a nice gruff sort of Imperial look. And you can see the nice torso print. And again, also it comes with a Lego pistol. Before we get on to the TIE Bomber itself, I figured I'd show off the side build here, which is sort of a missile carrier or ammo munitions carrier to load up the TIE Bomber. So you get 2 extra missiles that you could technically reload. There's no place to put them on the actual TIE Bomber itself, hence why they go in here. And you can place a minifigure on here to drive, so just like that, and they're ready to go off. And it has the nice smooth pieces, so you can move it pretty well. And you can move it quite well, and it won't like fall off. Obviously, if you go like that, it'll eventually pop off. But generally, it stays on, which is pretty nice. Now, taking a look at the TIE Bomber itself, I gotta say, I'm very happy with how this came out. Obviously, this is only the second TIE Bomber, which is pretty crazy to see since how much Lego loves the original trilogy in terms of creating sets, that we haven't got one of these since 2003 or 2004, which is just insane. I actually did have that set. I don't have it built anymore. It was when I was a kid. I think it broke apart years ago, unfortunately. But I do remember that set and really liking it. Really love the old missile feature, which unfortunately Lego could not incorporate into this new design. And this design is just sort of just for looks. You can't shoot anything out of it, which is probably my biggest letdown of the set. But in terms of the look and the scale, I actually think this is excellent. Now, it is sort of designed in the smaller size scale, like the newer TIE Fighter and X-Wing Starfighter. So it's not like based around, the 2018 X-Wing, or even, the like Resistance X-Wings from the sequel trilogy. So a little bit disappointing that it's at that scale. I hope one day they'll build an even larger one that perhaps will have that capability to fire over, just the missile shooter. Obviously, they don't really use the big bullet that they used to have back in the day, but just the look of the set is great. In terms of the detail, you have these nice pieces here that are printed right here, which looks excellent. Some nice printed detail right there as well. The back engines look excellent. You do have this piece here which can move. This is meant to be the targeting system for the bomber. Obviously not fully like able to actually be used in that way, but in terms of its look is accurate. Side there, you can see some excellent detail. Now, the other thing that I don't really like, that I wish they were managed to incorporate, but it would have required a new piece, is while this is a window piece, you can't actually see inside. It is completely solid, as you can see there. So you can't actually see the pilot when you have him inside. I think for its scale, this is okay, but if they were to make a larger one, I'd love to see one where you could actually see inside here. But you can fit the TIE Fighter pilot inside, which we'll put in right now. So as you can see, we fit him right inside there, and you can close it up, and you can zoom off, and he'll stay pretty much in there. Obviously, he's not going to knock it loose at all or anything like that, which is very nice to see. Pulling him out, you can see very minimal detail. There's a couple of like sort of computer panels there to represent controls, but nothing too crazy. You can see on the side some of the other pieces there. Now, of course, there is some stud shooter missiles here, which of course you can shoot off at the top, and they'll shoot out, and then of course you can replace them, and just replace them by placing them back into the shooter itself, as you hear it click into place. So Lego does give you some extra ones, so chances are you'll lose some if you tend to shoot these off a lot, but you get a couple extra, which is nice. Now, the other main feature is right here. You have these missile bombers, which showing off at the bottom, it's these yellow missiles, same thing as what's on the cart. And you can flick fire them or just push them out. So we'll do that. So, you know, it works okay. Now, you do have some opposability of the wings. You can actually put them out quite into like a really interesting position there. And it looks like so. Try to show it off on camera better, as you can see. So you can play around with it. Obviously, it's meant to just be in this position, but you have that ability to play around with how it's displayed, essentially. If you wanted to have that as its landing mode, you could, I guess. You have some nice tile pieces that, of course, tend to get lots of fingerprints on them as you touch them, even just placing the pieces on themselves, which is a little bit annoying, but hey, that's what happens. The LEGO Star Wars TIE Bomber is, for me, an absolute home run of a set, and is definitely the best of the winter or January lineup released by LEGO Star Wars. And with 3 minifigures and 1 droid-built character, it definitely has a lot of value going for it. Now, at $64.99 US or $84.99 Canadian, it is still a pricey set, especially with 625 pieces. But as you can see, even though it's designed in the lower scale, I actually think it's actually quite a fine size. It just won't go perfect if you have only the older X-Wings, but if you have the newer style, you know, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and presumably future sets that they will continue to design in the smaller scale, perhaps a B-Wing with the upcoming Return of the Jedi, or more likely an A-Wing. Wouldn't surprise me to see that in the summer. I know that has been a rumored set, but I just have a feeling one of the unknown sets could be one of those, just to go alongside this for Return of the Jedi. Now, I gotta say, I really love this set. I think it, while it could have had some slight improvements, I still think it just looks really cool. It looks kind of imposing, like it's supposed to. And yeah, I would like to see a better bombing feature. Overall, I think the set is perfectly fine as a play set, has a lot of good things going for it, and I'm sure kids are absolutely going to love it, and even adult collectors. It has a lot going for it, just having the Rey Sloan and the absolute great Darth Vader character. And while that Darth Vader isn't like unique to the set, it's still, to me, a pretty big draw just to get such a good Darth Vader. You know, we weren't sure if it was going to have that arm printing or leg printing, and to have it confirmed that it does, and it's excellent. It's just great to see from LEGO. Hopefully that means this Darth Vader is here to stay long term, as I think it's pretty much perfect, besides them, you know, doing, you know, another Chrome Vader in the future. I'd love to see them do that. Now, with that being said, that's all my opinion. So let me know your guys' thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars TIE Bomber in the comments down below. What do you think of this set? Have you guys picked it up, or are you planning to? Please leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.